Let's be real. Not every workplace is fair. Not every system is just. And sometimes you can do everything right and still be treated wrong. And so, what do you do when you're facing injustice, but you still want to move with integrity and faith? Today, we're talking about something very real. It's navigating injustice in the workplace. And I'm speaking from personal experience, but I'm going to keep things general and focused on the lessons because the goal is not to focus on people, it's to focus on growth, wisdom, and how we move forward. The first thing is recognizing it. Sometimes we minimize what we're experiencing. We tell ourselves, you know what, maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe it's not that serious. But let me say this clearly, okay? If something feels off consistently, pay attention. Injustice can look like being overlooked repeatedly, being held to different standards, a lack of support or fairness, your work not being recognized. And the key is not to react emotionally first, which I'm going to be honest is usually my go to, but to observe, document, and discern. If you're navigating injustice right now, I want you to remember this. You are not crazy. You are not powerless. You are not alone. Do not allow anyone to gaslight you in any way, shape, or form. Okay? I want you to remember to move with wisdom, stay grounded in your faith, and trust that God is working even in this situation. All right? The Bible reminds us in Romans 12:19, do not take revenge, for it is written, it is mine to avenge. I will repay, says the Lord. And I know that's easier said than done, right? Because when you face injustice, your first instinct may be to react, to defend yourself, to speak out immediately, to push back. But wisdom says to pause. And I'll tell you right now, that is the hardest thing in the world to do. But pausing doesn't mean that you stay silent or passive. What it means is that you don't let bitterness lead. You can advocate for yourself without losing your character in the process, because how you respond can impact everything, your reputation, your opportunities, and your future. This is where emotional discipline becomes a superpower, because instead of reacting, you get clarity, you gather facts, you think strategically. You don't lose by being patient and wise. You position yourself. And this is extremely important. Faith does not mean a lack of strategy. Let me repeat that again. Faith does not mean a lack of strategy. If you're navigating a difficult workplace situation, document everything, keep communication professional, know your options, seek wise counsel. You can be kind and still strategic. You can be faithful and still prepared. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to move in silence while you position yourself for what's next. Because there will come a point where you have to ask yourself, is this environment aligned with where I'm going? Because not every place deserves your long-term presence. Some environments are assignments, others are just seasons. So it's up to you to figure out which one that is, right? And if God is calling you to move, don't stay out of fear or comfort or familiarity. Trust that what's ahead is better than what you're leaving behind. So if this message resonated with you, please be sure to share it with someone who needs it and sign up for our mailing list for more faith-based encouragement. And remember, if you're everything to everyone, then you risk being no one. You never know who you will inspire. See you next episode.